who is the board of directors, I would like to welcome you all. Before we begin, I would like to go over a few quick house rules. In case of an emergency, please exit out the way you came and through the front doors, or through the side doors in concessions and into the parking lot. You are able to take pictures, just no flash photography. Please silence your cell phones. And our next show will be Marvin's Room, which will open January 31st, and it'll run all the way to February 16th. You enjoy the show.
The Shire. How delicious the morning is in this part of the world. The air seems to be stuffed with comfort. All green and still. Rather like the inside of one of those fresh eggs you're eating, don't you think?
Oh, I wouldn't know. It's hard to look at a place from the outside when you live in the inside. But then, you're a stranger here. Welcome. I still have a breakfast or two left, if you'd care for some.
Thank you, but I haven't the time. And I am not a stranger anywhere, unless, of course, I choose to be.
Ah, yes, of course. Well, how do you do, sir?
Magnificently, of course. But at the moment, I am looking for someone to share a great adventure. A stupendous adventure that I am arranging, but it's very difficult to find anyone. What was that?
That was neighbors, slamming doors and shutters.
On adventure.
You, sir, are in the neighborhood of Hobbits.
Hobbit. Hobbit. Tell me now, what's a hobbit?
We're just plain folk. Have no use for it. Adventures. Nasty, uncomfortable things. Adventures make you late for dinner. Can't think what anyone sees in them. Good morning. We don't want any adventures here. You might try over the hill or across the water.
You should be ashamed of yourself, Bilbo Baggins.
That's my name. How did you know my name?
You know mine too, although you don't know that I belong to it. I am Gandalf, and Gandalf means me.
Gandalf! Good gracious, not the wandering wizard who used to tell such wonderful tales at parties about dragons and giants and goblins.
The same, dear boy.
And the rescue of princesses. Oh, and the unexpected luck of widows' sons. Oh, and the fireworks. I remember those. Old Grandpa Took used to send them up on a midsummer's eve. Up they rose like great lilies and snapdragons and hung in the twilight all evening before falling at last like silver and gold rain. Dear me, are you the same Gandalf who led so many of our quiet lads and lasses off on mad adventures? Bless me, life used to be quite interesting. I mean, you used to upset things quite badly in these parts. I beg your pardon, but I had no idea you were still in the business.
Where else should I be? Well, for your grandfather
haven't asked for anything.
Yes, you have. My pardon. I give it to you. In fact, I will be so kind as to send you on an adventure. Very amusing for me, very good for you, and profitable too, if you live through it.
If I live through it. Good morning. No adventures. I'd ask you into tea.
Oh, how kind of you to ask me. I do hate to think alone. You'll go along and fix the tea. I'll be in shortly. I have a little business to attend to. Go on. Here they come.
Would you care to join me?
Fine place you have here, Bilbo.
Yes. I love my quiet home.
I haven't been this way for a long time. Not since your grandfather took passed on.
Yes. Well, I doubt there'll be much to amuse you around here.
True. But you hobbits do make a relaxing change from those dwarves and elves with their hard-headed hustle and light-headed bustle. Do you know the most amazing thing about hobbits?
No? What?
That you remain gentle for it, in spite of everything. I mean, I just dropped in, and yet you insisted I stay to tea.
Well,
Are you expecting someone?
no. Maybe groceries?
Ah, there you are. Ha! Dwalin, at your service.
Oh, my, Bilbo Baggins, at yours. I was expecting groceries?
Ah, I hear you set a fine table, lad.
Ask the fellow into tea, why don't you?
Oh, yes, certainly. Would you care to join us? The kettle's on the boil.
Ah, delighted.
Oh, excuse me.
Here, too.
I have no idea who it could be.
I see they have begun to arrive already. Woman, at your service.
My
Thank
ears
you.
deceive me. Brother! Oh, look at you. Quick hair these days.
You said they have begun to arrive?
Groceries, Bilbo?
Actually, no. Won't you join us for tea?
A glass of beer would suit me better if it's all the same to you, my good sir. And some seed cake, if you don't mind.
I'm so
Oh, yes, of course. Excuse me.
no, Harry. Fine luggage here, eh, brother?
These hobbits have the cream. A big thing this is we're setting out for.
But dangerous. Very dangerous.
Not again.
Allow me to unburden you.
Excellent.
Bailey! Bailey, at your service. Beckett's here, at yours. And your family's...
Hey, young lad, look at
A merry gathering.
Aye.
Who could that be?
Well, I certainly wouldn't know.
Refreshments, Mr. Reggins.
Oh, thank you, lad. Parts, Mr. Reggins? Dwarves? Jeez, Mr. Reggins, what do they hear about the South Road dwarves? Like, look at my face, what Oh, dear.
I trust there's food for latecomers.
Aye.
I may have a little tea left.
Tea? No, no, thank you. A little red wine and some cold chicken and pickles.
And more cakes!
And raspberry jam and muffins.
Put on a few eggs. There's a good fellow.
Oh, yes, more. Oh, certainly, certainly. Dig in. Don't sting yourselves.
I don't mind if I
Seem
do
to know
it.
more about the inside of my kitchen than I do. I could use some help.
Pepper, Ori,
Aye, not bad.
now Bolly, the lamp.
Done for done business.
Oh,
Aye, aye.
let's thought and spade.
Dwarves, Gandalf, Mr. Baggins.
Oh, why so dark? We like the dark.
We are met here at the house of our friend and fellow conspirator, this wise and brave hobbit. May the hair on his toes never fall out. All praise to his food. Now, we are meant to discuss plans. We shall start before dawn on a long, hard journey so dangerous. Some of us may not live through it. Or we reach the lonely mountain, only to be eaten by the dragon.
Come, come. He's an excitable little fellow. He just gets these queer fits. But he's fierce as a dragon in a pinch. All right.
Struck by lightning! Struck by lightning!
That's very well for you to say, but one shriek like that in a moment of danger, you'll wake the dragon and all his kin. They'd swallow the lot of us as quickly as you'd eat a dozen cupcakes.
It did sound more like fright than excitement. If it wasn't for the sign on the door, I'd assume we were at the wrong house.
Why, he turned to jelly right before our eyes. He looks more like a grocer than a burglar.
Pardon me, but I couldn't help overhearing your insults. Am I allowed a few words?
Oh, by all means.
First of all, I have no idea what you're talking about. There's no sign on my door, unless of course you're referring to the dents from all your banging.
Of course there's a sign. I put it there myself.
My good sir, the sign reads, burglar wants good job, plenty of excitement, reasonable reward. Read it yourself.
It's a fun
So, I've been deceived.
You asked me to find a fortunate man for your expedition, and I chose Mr. Baggins here.
Oh, you did you? Well, if you think that I'm going to go
Well, I'm afraid I've made a sad mistake. This can't be the chap. No, no. I was looking for a member of the famous Took family. Imagine, I mistook him for a Took.
But I am a took.
Really? The blood must have thinned then.
Why, my great uncle Bullroarer took.
Yes, but we're talking about you.
Aye.
I said to myself, now here is a hobbit with desires beyond his next cup of tea. adventure knocks, he locks his door and hides under the bed.
Really, this is too much.
Well, dwarves, you can go back to shoveling your coal.
No.
The Hobbit is afraid to go, and you certainly can't set out with 13. That's far too unlucky.
Sir, I must tell you that to uphold the honor of the Took family, I would cross mountains and deserts, and I would fight 100 dragons.
Splendid. Mr. Baggins is with us. Now, forward.
Why did I say that? Bilbo, you're a fool. Now you really have put your foot in it.
Gandalf, are you sure it'll do? You yourself.
If I say he's a burglar he is. Or will be when the time comes. There is more to him than you guess, or he has any idea of himself. You will live to thank him, and to thank him that you live.
Let us hope so. Now, let us discuss plans. It is late.
Let's have some light on this. This here is a map of the Lonely Mountain. It was left by your grandfather, King Thrain.
Yes.
What mountain?
Where the treasure is! And the dragon! I don't see how this will help much. I remember the lands and the mountains. Mirkwood, the withered heath, where the great dragon breathes. And here is the dragon marked in red. And we're not likely to miss him, are we?
Well, I'm not over fond of dragons, but then I've never known any.
You will. You will. Look here, Thorin. This circle on the map marks the secret entrance in the mountain. Here.
But is it still a secret is the question.
By now, the dragon must know these caves from top to bottom.
Not the secret entrance. It's so well hidden, it looks exactly like the side of the mountain. And by the way, I have a key that goes with the map. Here it is. Keep it safe.
Indeed I will. Now that things are looking more hopeful, a secret entrance. What luck!
Here, boy! It's almost dinner time. Sounds like the dragon's hungry for some nice roasted burger.
Oh, suppose we ask our burglar expert his ideas and suggestions.
Well, first, I should like some information. I mean about the dragon and the treasure, how it got there, who it belongs to, and so on.
Very well.
Oh, and I'd also like to know about risks, out-of-pocket expenses, time required, wages,
He
etc.
wants to know his chances of coming back alive and how much gold he'll get.
His chances are as good as ours. The circumstances are briefly these. Long ago, when my grandfather was king, the dwarves settled under the Lonely Mountain, and they built the merry town of Dale. Those were beautiful days. We made beautiful things, just for the fun of it, not to sell as we do now. When we needed more gold, emeralds, or rubies, we would just dig them out of the mountain. There was no end to the supply. But that brought the dragon. Happy days always brings dragons. History illustrates that.
Be brief, won't you?
Very well. There was an especially wicked dragon named His name seems to catch in my throat.
Small.
Yes! Cursed him! He flew from the east and burnt all the towns. Very few escaped. My father amongst them. And then he ate all the dwarves and stole the treasure. The fiend! So now we need to take back what is rightfully ours and bring our curses home to
Small.
Death to all dragons! Especially
Hear what? Hear what I've got to say.
Go on then. Say it.
Well, I think you ought to first go to the secret entrance and look around. Dragons must sleep sometime. And now I'm off to bed. You have my blessing. Is there anything else I can get you before you go?
Don't you mean before we go? Getting into the secret entrance is your job.
Yes, well, you see, I may have spoken a bit hastily just now, you see.